ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ नवमोऽध्यायः। In the last few shlokas of chapter 9 of Bhagavad Gita, that is from Slokas 20 to 28, Bhagavan Krishna said about the Sakama Bhakti, that is the Bhakti with desires and the benefits of it, and the Nishkama Bhakti, Bhakti without desire, and the benefits of it. And Bhagavan Krishna said, if a person worship the finite devatas or any other form of worship, then they attain them. But my bhaktas, they attain me. Even though they worship other forms of deities or God, in a way they are worshipping me, but in the wrong way. Avviti purvaham, not in the right way. So if we worship Bhagavan Krishna, then we will attain him. And Bhagavan Krishna said that he is the Lord of all the sacrifices, and all the offerings of the sacrifice, it comes to him. And Bhagavan Krishna said that whatever you do or whatever you give or whatever you eat, whatever you do, just offer it to me. Then the karma phala of that karma will be nullified, and one can attain liberation very easily by this method. And the next few shlokas, that is the last few shlokas of this chapter, also Bhagavan Krishna explains the same concept. Now, in this shloka, that is in shloka 29, Bhagavan Krishna says about how he treats his bhaktas. Does he treat the bhaktas in a different way? Does he show favoritism like what we do? Or what Bhagavan Krishna has to say? Let us read this few shlokas and understand from it. Shloka 29. Samoham sarvabhuteshu na me dveshyosti na priyah ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mayi te teshu chapyaham. Bhagavan Krishna says that Samoham sarva bhuteshu, I am same to all beings, not only to human beings, whatever beings are there, because it is all His creation, and all the beings in there in this loka are one form of Him. So all the beings in this loka are His form, and they all dwell in Bhagavan, and Bhagavan supports all beings. So he is the same to all beings. There is no difference for him whether he may be a bhakta or whether that person or being may be a bhakta to another form of deity, or he may be a nastika or astika, whatever it may be, or he may disregard Bhagavan. For Bhagavan, everyone is same. There is no partiality or favoritism like what we do. What the problem with us is, we think Bhagavan is same like us. He also has these emotions and he also has gunas. Bhagavan is gunatita. He is beyond all these gunas. Because of our prarabdha karmas, we have gunas. And because of that gunas, we show sometimes favoritism to some people. They help us. So sometimes if they hate us, we also hate them. The way they react to us, we also react to them. That's all because of our gunas and prarabdha karmas. But Bhagavan is beyond all this. It doesn't have any guna or any emotions. Only when we have gunas, there will be emotions. He is beyond all that. And even in this materialistic world, if a person is highly cultured and truly educated, then for them everyone is same. They do not hurt someone, or they do not show too much of respect to some other person. He might not have any community or jati or anything, because he is highly cultured and truly educated, not only attaining degrees, but with the knowledge, he'll be truly educated and he won't show any difference. We have seen some people in this world like that. If in this materialistic world itself, in this anitya world itself, it is like that, then what to think of Bhagavan? And how much more he is the Jnana Swarupa, Chaitanya Swarupa. So will Bhagavan have any difference between his bhaktas or any beings? No, definitely no. So he shows no partiality between any beings. For him, everything is a sama. Same aham sarva bhudeshu name dvesha. I do not hate anyone. No one is hateful to me. Na priyaha. No one is so dear to me also. So, in what way some people are so much attached to Bhagavan and some are not that attached to Bhagavan? In the next line, he explains, but ye bhajanti tuma bhaktya, but the person who truly worship me, mai te, I am in them, teshu cha aham. Abhyaham Deshu, they are also in me. But if we worship Bhagavan, I am in him. Bhagavan is in that Bhakta, and that Bhakta is also in Bhagavan. This is just like the sun, it shines on all the objects. Its rays falls on all the objects in this jagat. It falls on trees, it falls on the dirty gutter, sometimes it falls on the river, sometimes it falls on the mirror, it falls on our physical body, everywhere it falls on it. It doesn't have any partiality. But when it falls on us, only we feel the heat. We do not reflect the light of the sun. If it falls on the gutter, the same thing. The gutter from the dirty water, the sun will not shine. It will cannot reflect its rays. If it falls on a river which is pure, then to some extent it reflects the sunlight. But when it falls on a mirror, it just reflects the sunlight and it appears as another sun there. So it is all with the mind of the person, of the beings. If our mind is pure, we will accept Bhagavan and we will reflect that Chaitanya just like that. And we itself appear as the Chaitanya Swarupa because our mind reflects Bhagavan, the intelligence or the Chaitanya of Bhagavan. So it's just like the mirror. Even when the mirror is in the garbage, it will reflect sunlight. So just like that, wherever we may be born, if we accept Bhagavan, if we turn our mind towards Bhagavan, then definitely our mind will reflect that Chaitanya. So at that time, Bhagavan is in us and we are also in Bhagavan. Just like the sunlight is in the mirror and the mirror is also reflects the sunlight. So it's all how we turn our mind, to which direction we turn or in what attitude we have. It all depends on that. So Bhagavan is telling, I do not have any hatefulness towards anyone or no one is dear to me, but by bhaktas, I am in them and the bhaktas are also in me. In the next shloka, that is shloka 30, Bhagavan Krishna says, अपि चेत् सुधुराचारः भजते मामनन्यभाग् साधुरेव समन्तव्यः सम्यग्व्यवसितो हि सः. Now Bhagavan is telling about the power of his bhakti. Whoever worship me, he may be a durachara. Durachara means a wicked person who might have done a heinous crime or whatever it may be. Durachara, some people, they do not worship Bhagavan, but when they get a blow in life, immediately they turn towards Bhagavan. So, whatever type of person he may be, even if he is a most sinful person, if he worship me, then he must be considered as a sadhu. Sadhu means the sage, the pure minded person. There are so many examples in Puranas, and not only in Puranas, even in our lifetime, we have seen many people like that. The perfect example of this incident is from the Purana, from dacoit Ratnagar, he turned to sage Valmiki. How? By the bhakti towards Bhagavan Sri Ram. And that also, he just followed what the sages said. He just chanted that Nama without understanding anything, but just think about his status, how he elevated himself and became the Adikavi. So, whoever worship Bhagavan, but our mind must be turned towards him. It must be an unswearing devotion, one pointed devotion. Then he must be considered as a sadhu because he resolved in that right way. He turned in that right way. And that's it. That's the power of bhakti towards Bhagavan. And Bhagavan Krishna says this in the Shloka 30, and in the next Shloka, it's it gives peace of mind to all the bhaktas. Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashvachantim nigacchati kaunteya pradijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Bhagavan Krishna is proclaiming here. He is just giving his words that Shipram, very soon, he becomes the Dharmatma. He turns in the right way and he becomes a Dharmatma. Who the person who, even though he is wicked, if he turns his mind towards Bhagavan, then very soon he becomes Dharmatma. And what does he attain by it? Shashwatam Shantim, eternal and peace of mind, eternal peace of mind. He might have done any heinous crime. He might have experienced so much difficulty because of that karma phala, or might be experiencing it in that time. But if he turn his mind towards Bhagavan, then that gives him peace of mind, even in difficult situations. He becomes the sadhu, he becomes great. Even some great sadhus, they might have some physical difficulties, but they always keep their mind calm. How? By always doing thinking about Bhagavan. So just like that, even when a person doing any great sin, if he turn his mind towards me, then he becomes a dharmatma. He takes the righteous path very soon, and he attains eternal shanti or shanti, peace of mind. Bhavan Krishna in the next line is very important. Pratijanihi, that is, I proclaim for certain. Bhavan Krishna is telling, it is his words, I proclaim. And Bhagavan Krishna is telling, me bhakta na pranashyati. My bhaktas will never perish. They will not perish at all. These are the words of Bhagavan Krishna. And Bhagavan Krishna is telling this, and my bhaktas will never perish. He is giving his word in this 31st shloka of chapter 9 of Bhagavad Gita. So these are the words of Bhagavan Krishna. My devotees will never perish. So we can take his word. And the next shloka, shloka 32 is मां हि पार्थव्यपाश्रित्य येऽपि स्युः पापयोनयः स्त्रियो वैश्यास्तथा शूद्रः तेऽपि यान्ति परां गतिम्. This Bhagavan Krishna is telling that whoever he may be, whatever papas he might have done, or whatever varna he may be, if he worship me, he take refuge in me, then definitely they attain Parangati. I think if this shloka is not understood in the right way, if this shloka is not taken in the right sense, only when our intelligence shines here, if we understand this shloka with ignorance, then this one shloka is enough to bring any type of communal violence or unrest in the society. It has deep meaning, and only great acharyas can explain this perfectly. Sinful birth means they might have done any nishiddha karmas in their past life. Nishiddha karmas means the karmas that should not be done, that must be prohibited, just like a crime or taking the life of any other person. So, if they have done any nishiddha karmas like that, unnecessarily to satisfy our ego, if we take the life of another person, then it is the Nishiddha karma. So, such Nishiddha karmas, if a person might have done in their past life, then they take a very sinful birth in this life. Not only then, three women, Vaishyas, that is the Vaishya Varna, then Shudra Varna. The Varna system itself came into existence based on the guna, the nature of the person, and the karma they do. Based on the guna, the karma they do, and strictly not based on the family they are born in. Because just take the example of Ratna, that dacoit Ratna, he was a tribe. But by bhakti, he became a sage. And just like that, there are many stree women in the ancient times, not only in ancient times, even today also. They might be doing their household work or just like that. At one stage of their life, they will be so attached to Bhagavan and they continuously worship Bhagavan and have become great sages. Just take the example of the Gopikas. Do we need any other example for Param Bhakti than the Gopikas? They were just women, almost uneducated women. I think they belong to the Varna of Vaisya only. I'm not sure about it. They were women, family women, but they, because of their bhakti to Bhagavan, they all attained Param Gati, and even a Krura or a Uddhava, they were so jealous of their bhakti and the way they lived. So there is this discrimination or the difference, rather I would say the difference is based on the guna and the nature of the job they do and not based on the birth of the birth in which the family they were born. And the Vaishyas, they will be so much interested in doing business. The society needs them, or otherwise, who will take care of the economy? And in the ancient times, not only in ancient times, in the Karma Kanda of the Vedas, three women, Vaishyas, Vaishya Varna and Sudra Varna, these three are people are barred from doing certain karmas from the Karma Kanda. Only Brahmanas are qualified to do those karmas. It is because of the nature of their physical body, their attitude, their guna, and the karma they do. The Brahmanas, their job and their nature and their karma is to only do the karma from the that is said in the Vedas, completely devote their life for real studying Vedas, teaching Vedas, and following the karmas in the Vedas. Their life is devoted to that. But it is not the same for women, Vaishyas, and Shudras. They have their own work to do. Their nature is different, their physical structure is different, so they cannot do all the karmas from the karma kanda. So, what is their way to attain parangati? They are barred from doing some of the karmas from the karma kanda of the Vedas, but they are well qualified to attain moksha or jnana or parangati. There are two ways to attain moksha. One is by doing the karma kanda, purifying the mind, then renouncing everything, attaining knowledge. The other way is just the surrender to Bhagavan, and we will be purified from all our karmic impressions, then attain jnana, then go to Paramgati. So the three Vaishya and Sudra, they take the second path, that is surrendering to Bhagavan. Vyabhashritya, we're taking refuge in me. I relieve them from all their karmic bondings and they attain Paramgati. If this is there for Stri, Vaishya, and Sudra, then what is there for Brahmana and other, that is the Kshatriya Varna? That Bhagavan Krishna is explaining in the next shloka, shloka 33. किं पुनर्ब्राह्मणा पुण्याः भक्ता राजर्षयस्तथा अनित्यमसुखं लोकम् इमं प्राप्य भजस्व माम्. If that is there, if that way is there for Stri, Vaishya and Sudra, then what is how easy is it to attain that loka for Punya Brahmana and the Rajarshis? Why Brahmanas are said as Punya? Because their life is devoted to Vedas only. They chant mantras, they go to do sacrifices, they just devote their life completely to Vedas. So they are considered as punya and not because of birth in that community alone. If you're Brahmana, born in that varna but not interested in Veda, then he cannot be said as the Punya Brahmana. Here, the Punya is based on studying and practicing Veda and not based on only the birth in that kula. Just like that, Rajarshis, Bhagavan Krishna is telling not only the Rajas, that is not only the Kshatriyas. If the Kshatriyas has turned their life towards Veda, practicing Brahmajnana, then they are considered as Punya. Great Rajarshis are Vishwamitra, then Janaka Maharaj. These are all great Rajarshis which are very famous. Everyone knows about them. There are many Rajarshis in the Vedic period. And even in this loka also, some people they will be very rich, but they do not want anything, all the riches, and they turn their life completely towards Bhagavan. They are all considered as punya. It's based on the attitude and not based on the birth in a kula itself. One, not only based on that. So even for the Stri, Vaishya and Shudra, it is so easy to attain Paramgati. Then what to tell about the people who completely devote their life to Vedas? They are born in this Anitya Loka. That is, Anitya Loka means the Loka which here everything is temporary, nothing is permanent here. Asukam, complete unhappiness. By some way, they are born here. From here, they practice Veda, practice meditation, practice Brahmajnana, and attain Paramgati. So they always bhajaswamam, they always worship me. Coming to this impermanent and unhappy world, they worship me and they attain Parangati. The next is the last shloka of this chapter. Manmadha bhava madbhaktaha madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishasi yuktvaivam Atmanam Matparayanaha. Manmana, with the mind filled with my devotion, the mind filled with me, my bhaktas, they do sacrifices to me, they worship me, namaskuru, they worship me. Mam eva aishyasi, then they come to me. If you always think of Bhagavan, they come to me. Yuktva, having united, they unite with me, they merge with myself, Atmanam, they merge with me, they taking their Mat Parayana means taking me as the supreme goal. So my bhaktas, they always worship me, they take refuge in me, their mind is completely filled with my devotion, they attain me, they merge me, and they attain that supreme goal. Their goal itself is to attain me, not anything. That is the Nishkama Bhaktas. It is not for any desires they worship Bhagavan. To attain Bhagavan, they worship Bhagavan, and they attain Bhagavan, and they merge in that infinite. So these are the words of Bhagavan Krishna in this ninth discourse of Bhagavad Gita. There are totally 34 shlokas in this chapter, ninth chapter, and the name of this chapter is Raja Vidya Raja Guhya. And in the first few shlokas, Bhagavan Krishna explained about the meaning of these terms, why it is said as the kingly secret and the kingly knowledge. It is so precious knowledge. And in the fourth and the fifth shloka, Bhagavan Krishna said that I pervade everywhere and all the beings are in me and are not that I am in them, they are in me. And in the next shloka, Bhagavan Krishna said, they do not even dwell in me, I only support them. And Bhagavan Krishna said, all the beings during Pralaya, they merge in Maya and I support the Maya. So in that way, I support all beings. So just like that, they remain in the unmanifestation period, and during the manifestation period, I sent them forth, and the Maya manifest everything. They come again and again because there is no other goal for them. So they come again and again. But some bhaktas or people, they do not understand my real nature and they consider me as this finite form alone and they disregard me. So, because of that, they have that deluded in mind, they have delusion in mind, so they do not, they disregard me. And Bhagavan Krishna said about the different types of bhaktas and the different types of bhakti. Some people, they worship me as their antaratma, that they say they see me in all. They see me as same in all. And some people, they consider me as Bhagavan, separate from them, and they consider themselves as Bhaktas. But some people, they see me in different deities, in different forms, and some people, they see me in all forms in the Jagat. There's this Vishwadhomukam, they see me like that. But the people, some people, they worship me as I am their Atma. And Bhagavan Krishna identified himself with a different concept, with a different objects in this creation, with all the objects in the which we use for sacrifice. And Bhagavan Krishna said that some people they have desires and they worship me, but some people, they do not have any desire. That desire and their goal is to attain me, and they get united with me permanently. That is Nitya Yukta. They become Nitya Yukta. And Bhagavan Krishna said that some bhaktas, they worship me in different forms, in different finite forms. But that's not the right way of worshipping. Even though all the forms, I pervade in all the forms and what all they offer and what all they pray, it comes to me, but that is not the right way of worshipping because in the end they will merge in that finite form. These are the concepts exactly said in the Kenopanishad also. So I enjoy all the offerings given through whatever deity or whatever form any person worship. It all comes to me. I enjoy all the offerings of all the yajnas. I am the Lord of all the yajnas. And in the next few shlokas, it's so very easy to worship Bhagavan. Even if a person, a bhakta, gives some fruits or flowers, if nothing is available, just some water in a small vessel, that is enough for Bhagavan. He will accept it and bless everyone. And Bhagavan Krishna said, whatever you do or whatever you eat, just offer it to me, and then you remain peacefully, because all the doshas and all the karma bandhas by doing that karma will be nullified if we offer everything to Bhagavan, and that bhakta will be qualified for a liberation, and it removes all the shubha and ashubha phala. And Bhagavan Krishna said, even if you worship him or do not worship him, for Bhagavan, it is the same. All the Buddhas in this creation, all the beings in this creation are same to him. But if we worship Bhagavan, then we are in Bhagavan, and Bhagavan also is in us. I am in them and they are also in me, Bhagavan said. And he said that even if Dushtachara, any person who have done any great sin or a papi, if he worship me, then he must be considered as a sadhu because he has rightly resolved. And even for the three, for the Vaishyas or Sudras, because they have different karma, their nature itself is different, whoever it may be, even if they are women or any people who have done the heinous crime or sinful person, or the Stri or Shudra or the Vaishyas, whatever profession or karmas they do, or if they take refuge in me, I give them Param Gati. They will definitely go to Param Gati. Then what more to tell about the Brahmanas and the Rajarishis? They have come to this creation by doing some papa karmas, but after attaining here, coming here, entering here, they worship me completely and they attain Paramgati. There is no partiality or favoritism for Bhagavan because he is Gunadita. And he says in his last word that whoever with complete devotion, if they worship me, if they worship me alone, then they come to me. They unite with myself and they become infinite. And they attain the Param Gati because their goal is me. So these are the words of Bhagavan Krishna in this chapter, Raja Vidya Raja Guhya, which is the ninth discourse of Bhagavan Krishna. And another name of this chapter is Adhyatma Yoga because it is completely practicing Brahma Vidya. And that's the end of this chapter. There are 34 shlokas in this chapter. I will continue with the next chapter, which is a very important chapter, Vibhuti Yoga, in my next video. Om Tat Sat Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita So Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Raja Vidya Raja Guhyo Nama Navamodhyayah. यत्र योगीश्वरः कृष्णः यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयोर्भूति ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम ॐ श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु।